you get given opportunities. I think that's the big one. Like, there's a lot of opportunities here for young players to come and show what they have. So yeah, I'll give 100% all the time. Like, always take it seriously.
I'll be honest with you, I couldn't see him doing anything else because he's that dedicated, and his desire to succeed at the highest level is his dream.
But he's always outside with the football, kicking up peas, or we'd be over the park with him, wasn't it? Every spare minute he'd be playing football or doing something on his own with football.
The first team I joined, which was Droitwich Spa, probably I was about 4 or 5 years old, and from there I just loved playing straight away. Like, even just playing with my friends. And then, yeah, going through Droitwich Spa that's where it started.
Every time when he was at grassroots in his first football team at Droitwich Spa, if somebody came, we used to have professionals come in, or somebody highly qualified coaches rather than the parents. He'd always stand out. They'd always comment and say, "Oh, that little player looks a good one," and I'd say, "That's my son." Thank you.
I think at that point it was just, you know, like a normal kid just playing football. Like, I loved it just as much as my friends did. I think at that age you just love playing. You don't think about what it's going to lead into. You just love the game. Yeah.
I think it was Bristol Rovers set up something locally in Pershore, and Worcester Colts. There were a couple of coaches came to watch their lads play in it, and then he was asked from that to play in a tournament for them to help them out.
We were a player short because of holidays and whatever, and one of the parents knew Alfie because he went to another football development thing with him, got him in, played for us in that tournament, and you know, after 10 minutes I turned to the coach who was helping him and I said, "This boy can play." As the season went on, he was definitely one of the better boys, and I could just tell the more and more he played, the more hungry he looked. It was, for me, he had the ability, but I think his desire, determination, will to win, you know, stood out probably a little bit more than some of the others.
And I think it might have been something to do with Nick, who ran Worcester Colts, had put his name through to Blues.
So Nick contacted me and Alfie said, "Yes, please."
When I first heard that Blues had like contacted, I think it was my parents, like you're a bit shocked by it and you think like it's a massive step up to what I was playing at before. But yeah, you do think like that's when it gets a bit more serious. Like that's when it, you know, you start thinking about that. Yeah.
The very first game he played was against West Brom in the Dome, and a certain Jude Bellingham was playing at the time, and I think they beat West Brom something like 7-3. And Jude had done his normal and scored a lot of goals, and Alfie scored the last one. And I think we were, because the coaches were on the opposite side to where the parents were, and you got a phone call, didn't you? to say
during
that
the game, to
during
say
the game,
to sign him.
like to sign him.
And I think they were very impressed with him from, you know, straight away. That's what we do it for, you know. As much as we had a good side, for me, it's all about getting the boys to play to the best ability and go and play in the highest level they can.
I think the academy's set up in a really good way of bringing players through, like even at early ages, like say if you're under 11s, you might get some training sessions with the under 12s or 13s or play a game with the under 12s. Like they're always pushing you as much as they can.
Well, as he got older, he wanted to learn more, and he'd drag us over to the park at some ridiculous time. It might have been 8 o'clock in the morning to work on certain things.
You know, I can remember speaking to his mum. I think he was, after he'd left, he was 14s or 15s at Birmingham, and he was out with an injury, and obviously we keep in touch a lot, and I rang her to see how he was, and I think it was 8 o'clock. It was a half-term time, and he was out over the fields from by his house doing his rehabilitation, shuttles, running, getting himself fit. There's not many kids at that age with that desire to better themselves. When he got his scholarship, they were on the way home, they rang me in the car, really pleased for him, and I said to him, "Mate, that's brilliant, but the hard work starts now."
I think my suit's top, to be fair. I don't know about the socks though, Jesus. Yeah, Jude's suit, it's a bit out there, but yeah, it's decent. But yeah, most of us there like went through together, like it's mad.
So we didn't know exactly how they thought of him in the club, whether they thought he was going to go anywhere. So will he get a scholarship? Yes, he got one. So after the scholarship, do you think he'll get a professional contract? Yes, he got a professional contract.
I was buzzing. Like I'd always just not really looked that far into the future when I was in the academy, and I just focused on the next season or the next game, whatever. But when you're there and you're signing it, like it's a very proud moment for you and your family, isn't it? So yeah, I was buzzing at the time. Signing a pro, that's your first actual contract where you can say you're actually a professional footballer.
Team news then, first of all, Birmingham. Oliver Basey is the goalkeeper, Josh Williams, Joe Redmond the captain, Geraldo Bajrami and Ryan Burke, Keke Simmons, Caelan Boyd-Muntz, Remy Walker and Jaden Reed, Aidan George and Alfie Chang.
I actually attended the game and I wasn't expecting Alfie to start. And when I actually got there and saw the team and he started, I thought it was one of the best games I'd seen Blues play at that level.
Him and Remy had come in and played 3 or 4 games towards the end and done very well. And it was like, you know, do we keep them in for the semis and the final? Because the boys want to win it, we want to win it. And they were younger players, but we decided to go with them over the more experienced players.
Talented young man, Keke Simmons. Joe Redmond surging forward and plays a little inside pass to Aidan George, who's onside. And Aidan George has opened the scoring for Blues after just 6 minutes here at Bramall Lane. The opening goal in the Professional Development League final goes to the visitors. Chang for company here, faced by Andre Brooks. He's got an option out wide left through Caelan Boyd-Muntz, who's going to sweep this one in left-footed towards Aidan George, and he gets a header on it. And Aidan George has his second goal early on here in South Yorkshire. It's a wonderful goal from the young Blues side, who are taking charge of this final. It's Blues 2, Sheffield United 0.
We played a different shape that day for the first time. We had played Sheffield United twice before, and in the game round about the Easter time they thumped us. And the staff, we just agreed that we had to do something different.
So Company and Williams driving down the Sheffield right and past Brooks, plays a pass into Aidan George and it deflects in the box. Here's Jaden Reed, back to Chang on his left foot, and it's tipped round the post by Marcus Dewhurst.
We stayed with them, give them the opportunity to shine, and they certainly did. They done ever so well. So, you know, as a 17-year-old boy playing in the 21s, and he give a very good account of himself and mature.
This afternoon they will be champions. After a fantastic display here in South Yorkshire. And there's the referee's whistle. And Birmingham City are Professional Development League champions.
For us to be a part of that, like winning something is really good. Like we've never really, I think we won a tournament when we was under 16s. But apart from that, we've never really won something that big before, so it was good for the academy as well.
They really did play really well and deserved it, you know. And again, after the final whistle went and they were all singing,
Great.
yeah, it was fantastic. You just felt a part of it.
Start, and Joe Redmond has the trophy in his hands and raises it aloft here in South Yorkshire. And your Birmingham City are Professional Development League champions 2020-21.
It's always nice when the academy wins something because it gives the players belief. You know, the ultimate goal is to make their way through to the first team, but if they can have some success as a group on the way, you know, that leaves something with them. And I know players I spoke to after that, they still speak about it as a group and that. So it's good for the club, it's good for camaraderie, and it's good for the players to carry something like that.
Once you enter 23s or 21s football, you're hoping for more involvement with the first team. I think it was Paul Harsey at the time, who was like a first team coach. Yeah, he rang me and said, I'll be training with the first team tomorrow. And that's all you think about, like that's your first session with the first team, the first time actually getting to know them and that. So like you're buzzing at the time. You're a little bit nervous, but you're buzzing, yeah.
I'd seen him training with them and that, and he was no different, because I said this like in a still that he possesses. You know, he's very quietly confident. He doesn't go around bragging or that.
There'll be another young player coming on. There'll be a debut as well. Blues News debutant for Alfie Chang, and he'll be someone that you'll certainly have had no doubt of keeping a close eye on tonight, and with his development into the first team as well.
I didn't really have much time to think about it from being told that I'm coming on. Like, I was just happy that I was about to get on the pitch for the first time. Yeah, like there'd been games before where I'd been on the bench and like I've been told get ready to come on, and then something's happened in the game and I haven't come on. Yeah, to know that you're finally about to come on is brilliant.
But yeah, it's immense pride for when you see a young player stepping over that line, because you know what they've been through, and you know how much it means to individuals and that as well, particularly if they're local boys as well and have got an affinity with the club. So yeah, it's very, very, very special.
I think you have a nervous twinge, which is automatic, because you don't know how he's going to react. But after, say, 10, 15 minutes, I just think you lose that, and you think, well, he seems to be, comfortable enough to play at that level.
Alfie, I think he's number 4. He's very calm, steady on the ball. Say good work rate, determination, effort.
In there once again looming, and Chang had to put it over his own crossbar.
Great play by Alfie Chang there, well tracked into the box.
I definitely like both sides of the game. I think I'm more like a defensive-minded player. Like I love defending. I love tackling someone, do you know what I mean? But I also love having the ball at my feet. So I think a bit of both, like both sides of the game.
I think he can keep the direction of the play and the flow of the game moving, because he's got a good first touch, good range of passing, short and long, speed and detail in his passing. But he's competitive as well, and he likes a battle in the midfield there.
Absolutely wild. Low in by Chang flicking it on, it's to Kevin Long! And there is the second goal!
That was a little planned like corner setup, so I went to celebrate with Chongy because he was in on it. And it was class. Yeah, it was really good, and to be involved in a goal, which I haven't before when I've played, was brilliant as well.
So it's thanks to John and his team, the management team, that have given him the opportunity to, represent the club in the Championship, and not many players would sort of get that opportunity. They'd have to go a little bit longer. And
John, the bosses, and all his staff have been very, very good in having players up to look at. He's always looking at players, and they attend 21s games as well. So that's important that the first team manager and the staff have a knowledge of the players, then give them an opportunity.
It shows that you're in the plans for the future for the gaffer and the club. So that's like you take pride in that. You take pride in the fact that you've earned their trust and you're wanted at the club. So like look in the first team now. You've got Job, me, George, JJ, like all been fairly regular recently. Like in the first team, like you don't see that all the time at a lot of clubs. So it's brilliant that they do that here.
The club have got to be proud of their achievements with the academy, because at the end of the day, if you can have a nucleus of good young players coming through, then the future is bright.